Hello Scratchers, welcome to another video of Techno. In this video, we are going to learn the looks category. This one. So it is not like the motion category, it is different one. So we have pretty much same blocks as you can see. So our first block is say dash for dash seconds block, in which we have the option to insert something. Like here we can insert the number of the piece of text or piece of numbers, and which we want the sprite to say. Now why this sprite only? Because this block is inserted into this sprite, not any other. And this input option is there for us, like we can insert how much seconds we want the sprite to say something. So we can also insert our own piece of text and our own piece of number. So I can say, hi, my name is 123, and it will be saying this for let's say 3 seconds, and when I click this, it says it. Hi, my name is 123, and it also says it in a specific pattern. Like if I click this, so see, there is a chat sign, as you can see, like this one, which we also use in we don't use it, it comes in WhatsApp. Then we have the next block, which pretty much works the same like this one, in which what we have is we can also insert piece of text or piece of number. Like I'll say, hi, my name is Scratchy, and when I click this, what happens is it it happens for forever, because there is no input here to insert the number of seconds which we want. So it happens for forever. Now it will not stop until we click this stop button, this one. So to start a project, we click this green flag, and to stop a project, we click this red shape. Then what we have next is this one, think block, in which we can also insert the piece of text or piece of numbers, and we can also insert the number of seconds or number of time we want. So I can say, how much does this cost? Okay, and I can insert the number of seconds here, let's say 3 seconds, and when I click this, see, so now it is another shape which is of thinking. Like the chat shape was like this, the WhatsApp one, and this think shape is another one, like dot dot, and that chat one. Now the same happens of think also. What we have is it does it for forever. Now if I put, how much does this cost? So when I click this, it is for forever, because there is no time, because there is no option to insert the time. Then the next block is switch costume. So in previous videos we learned that there are costumes for each sprite. Like almost every sprite has costumes, few doesn't have. So this is Scratch Cat, which has only 2 costumes. So costume 1 and costume 2, this one. So now if I want to wait, I'll stop this project so it will stop saying this. So if I want to switch its costume to another one, like now it is in costume 1, but if I want to switch it to costume 2, so I can switch it by this block. So as you can see, this small upside down triangle, we can click this, then a pop-up menu will appear, in which we have some options which are costumes of a sprite, the specific sprite. With specific sprite, the block in which the means, now this block is in the Scratch Cats sprite. So now it will tell the costumes of this sprite, the particular sprite only. So now it is in costume 1, right? So now I want to change it into costume 2. It is already selected. It is selected, that's why there's a tick mark mentioned here. if this one is selected, then this has a tick mark. So I want it to switch costume to costume 2. So when I click this, see, it is now costume 2. Now when I click this again, it will not switch because it is already in the costume 2. If I choose costume 1, so when I click this, it is again in the costume 1. So this the blocks and the sprites are connected. So when we do some action, when we tell this blocks to do some action, so it affects on the sprite. Then the next block is next costume. So this is the particular block, right? Like if there are many costumes and I don't want to particularly mention the name of this costume. I just want the next costume because I have arranged it like in that pattern. So first I want this costume, then I want this costume. So I had put this costume after this costume. So now it is in costume 1. If I want the another next costume, so I'll click this block. Now it is in the next costume. Now there is no costume after this one, so it will again start from the start. Like now it will go again on the costume 1, costume 2, costume 1, costume 2, because there are no further costumes over here. So when I click again next costume, so it has gone in costume 1. So as you can see, this happens. Then the next block is switch backdrop to, that is for actually backdrops. So backdrop can also have several backdrops, but we can't give it name of costumes. Like costumes are only there for sprites. Backdrops have number of backdrops, we can say. It doesn't have a specific name for it. If you know there is a name for it, so comment down. So when I click this block, it is already in the backdrop 1. So we can also switch the backdrops, like we switch the costumes. So I'll duplicate this by right clicking on this. I'll have 4 backdrops. I'll also name this, so it will be easy for us to work. Sorry, while painting the numbers don't go well, handwriting. Okay, so now it is the backdrop 4, switch backdrop to backdrop 1 I want. So now it is backdrop 1. If I choose backdrop 2, it will go in backdrop 2. If I choose backdrop 3, it will go in backdrop 3. If I choose backdrop 4, it will go in backdrop 4. So this is how it works. We can go any backdrop before we choose it. So we have to choose, and then when we click, so it switches to that backdrop. Then we have 3 options, more 3 options here, that is next backdrop, previous backdrop, and random backdrop. In next backdrop, what happens is the same like next costume or next backdrop, the another block. So what happens is here, I'll choose the backdrop 1. What happens here is when we click next backdrop, it changes to next backdrop. So there is also short form for backdrop, that is BG. Okay, BG. So I'll just not say BG, I'll just say backdrop. But some of the scratchers, like almost every scratcher uses BG for short form. So what we can do, or in films also, like any other activities also, you can see for backdrops we use BG. And actually in Scratch only it is called backdrop. In another activities it is called background. Okay, that is also BG, and this one is also BG. So now next backdrop, then we have previous backdrop. So it will go to the previous backdrop. Now it is second backdrop. If I click here, it will go to first backdrop. Then random backdrop. So the computer will choose the random backdrop from the varieties of backdrop we have. Like we have 4 backdrops here. So when we use the random backdrop option or block, the computer chooses the random backdrop from the backdrops it has. Like now it has 4 backdrops, so it can choose the random from here. We'll try it. Now random backgrounds 4, 2, 1, 3. So it is checking the random background, as you can see. Then this block and this block is same when this block is only same when we choose the next backdrop. So what happens is the same one next backdrop, the same like this one. This will do the same when it is selected in the next backdrop, and this will also do the same. As we have next costume, we have next backdrop too. Then after this, what we have is size. Now this two blocks are only for backdrop in here and looks category. Now this will again affect on the sprite. This affected on the backdrops because it is for backdrop. There is no special block palette for backdrop, so it has came under looks category. So we have changed size. So it again affects on the scratch cat. Oh sorry, it again affects on the sprite. So now we have changed size. Again we have an input option here. So we can input our own number, like we can't put the text over here. Okay, we can only put the number, so it will increase or decrease. But if you want to increase, so you can put a normal number like 15 or 20 if you want. So now if I click this, so the size increases by 20. It is increasing at each time. At each time we click, it is increasing by 20. So if I want to decrease it, so I have to put this minus sign, the sign for which we use for subtraction. That is, the sign's name is minus. Now I can do it like 15. So now it will decrease each time we click the block. Each time it will decrease by 15. Now why it will decrease? Because we have put the sign of minus over here, like this. If I want, and every sprite has a original size, and that original size is same for every sprite, that is 100. Now that is here. So this is the original size of the scratch cat, that is 100. Every sprite has its original size, that is 100. Then after change size we have the set size. Now what is the use of this one while we have this one? So what happens is this option size, this one, and this block is same. Like now this is 100, this is also 100. If I click this, nothing will change. If I if I set the size to 100, nothing will change. If I put this size 70, and if I click this, so it will go to 70. Now this effect happened here, so this will also happen here. So what happens is this block and this block is same, or this option and this block is same. If I put here 120, sorry, if I put here 120, so it changes to 120, but it will not happen here, like because the change will happen here, so it will happen here. Now it is 120, right? If I put the same number, that is 120 over here, see if it changed. No, because the size here is already 120, and if I put here 120, so it will remain the same. It will stay the same. It will not change because these both option or block are the same. So now what is the difference between change size and this block? So what happens over here is, as I told you, this changes size, but this have no relation with this block. Okay, only it is like size happens with this both blocks, and this is the same block provided for this one. Like this is the same block set size. Then the next block we have is change color. Now this is the interesting block, I think. In looks, like every scratcher loves it in looks backdrop. So again, when we click this upside down triangle, we have a pop-up menu over here which has few options. They are color, fisheye, bowl, pixelate, mosaic, brightness, and ghost. So I will explain each effect. So what is color? So when we click it, the color changes into that sprite, and also we have specific value, or we can also insert the specific value, like by which value we want it to change. So if I want 15, I'll put 15, and then it is changing slowly, like 15. Now orange we have, then we have yellow, yellow, green. So as you can see, and if I put 100, see what will happen when 100 is there. See, direct red, green, red, green, red, green. It is happening. It has no shades in between. Okay, but if I have one, so it will have lots of shade, like एक करके जाएगा वो. And if I just put 100, so it has no shades between, like green and red are the main one. So if I see, we cannot even notice if it's changing or not. If I do it fast, so see what happens. Now also it's changing. See, after so much time it is changing. Like I'm clicking continuously, so it is changing. So I hope if you got the matter of this effect by. If not, then you can comment and I will surely solve it. Any See, if you have any doubts, you can freely comment it into the comment section. I'll surely solve it. After color, what we have is fisheye. Now, what happens in fisheye is this effect. I'll directly tell you. The original effect value is 25, which is good. Fisheye. See what happens. See. By seeing only, you'll get to understand. The middle point, okay? The middle point gets affected. So the middle point was its mouth, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger like a balloon when we blow air into it. How it gets bigger like that, and now here it's getting blurry also because it's getting bigger. Then after we can also, so in each option or each effect we can change the value here, so it will matter. And after wall, see what happens. Goes circling like this, like see, like a puzzle, and then it goes like an illusion. Then we can also change the value over here. Then we have pixelate. See what happens is it gets blurry first time and then turns into square, 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 as you can see, and turns into different shapes. So then we have mosaic. What happens by mosaic is this. It turns into very number of scratch cards which we even can't count and even cannot see, and then it turns into square shape where there are lots of scratch cards, small tiny scratch cards. Then what we have is, oh wait, what we have over here is then brightness. What happens by brightness is brightness increases like this. Now what if I do minus? So yeah, where there is every value we can put by numbers, we can put minus sign, like minus, we can say 5. So now it will go darker. See, now it is going darker because I have the minus sign over here, so you can use it like that also. So now it is completely black, as you can see. So there are many uses of this, many uses of this. Now what if I have ghost? See, wait, now this will not work here because see, ghost will turn it into a ghost. It doesn't work for, like, it doesn't get darker. Ghosts are not darker. So effect by 5, which is going, and we will see if it works or not. Minus 10. Let's see if it's work. Not, it doesn't work because ghosts does are not black. What is the difference between brightness and ghost? So I hope you got it. If not, then I'll tell you. So in brightness, it happens both, like brightness can go down also and then brightness can go up also. It can increase also, it can decrease also. But in ghost, what happens is the it will turn into a ghost, like always white, 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 white. It Ghosts are not black. They are white. Like only it will increase, it will not decrease. So it is a little bit same with brightness, but it does not decrease. So that's how it is. Then now the main question is, if you apply a effect over here, so how to get it done, like how to get rid of it. So we have graphic. I hope you know what is graphic. Graphic means the screen what we have over here, the computer screen. This is graphics, okay? Animations, games, videos, these all are graphics. So now this effect is also graphic, right? So clear graphic effects. This is effects. Graphic are very much, but this is for graphic effects only. and it will only be applied on the looks category, this one. Okay, I'll tell you the set also. First I'm telling the graphic one. So when you do something like change color here, if you change color, see, and now I wanted to original color, so what I can do is click this clear graphic effects block, and now it will come to its original one. If I if I choose this one and this effect works, okay, now I want it to original one. So what I will do is click this clear graphic effects block, and then it will turn back into the original sprite or original one. Now what is set color? So as there is change size by and set size, we also have change color and set color. What is the difference, right? So what happens here is this only changes it. It can go in value like 1, 2, 3, 4. The value, see, change color by 25. Now it is going value, it has shades. But what happens in set is now this is 0. See, it is not working. Why? Because it is 0. The fish eye effect will be to 0. If I do it to 1, it will happen a little bit, only a little bit. See, you can't see also it. You cannot see. If I do it to 5, now you can see a little bit. Now if I do it to 15, now I can see a little bit. So it is the arranged already value. Like now if I want 200, so it will go to 200. Directly to 200. We don't have to count it from 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have to continuously click it to reach to 200. It will directly go to 200 when you say it. If I want here 250, so it will go directly to 250 value. If see, if somehow you reach 200 also by clicking it continuously, then you want to reach 250, so you will not continuously be clicking like 50 times, then you will reach 250. You have the direct option to reach to 250. So if I just click this, now it is 250. So I hope you understood the difference. If not, you can comment down and I'll solve it. Then show, hide, they are like very normal blocks. So these are same like this one, hide, show. First I'll clear the graphic effects. Hide, show, hide, show, hide, show. Like that only, same here. When we click it hide, it gets hidden. And we click the show, it gets shown. So hide, show, it does the same work. So no need to explain. Now what are these two blocks? Okay. So now if I have one more sprite, like I have 4 sprites more which are bigger than the scratch cat, and I'll make it size 200, and the scratch cat gets hidden behind it. So I'll make it this one. I'll go in white color. Sorry. And I'll name it as 1. Then I'll duplicate this. I'll make it, wait, I'll make 4 sprites like this. So I have 4 sprites like this. Now I'll paint here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now what happens here is these sprites have hidden the scratch cat. So now how to see the scratch cat? How to show the scratch cat? So what we can use is go to front layer. Now if I click front layer, it has shown up, right? But it was only behind of this one. That's why it showed up. What if we have lots of the sprites and it is behind at the most behind layer? So how can we bring it to the topmost layer, like clicking this continuously? No. So what happens by this one, I'll explain this first. This brings the sprite to front layer or back layer. So I can move the scratch cat to back layer. I can move the scratch cat to front layer like this. But what if, as I said, what if I have many sprites like this and this scratch cat is at the backmost layer? Like it is very behind of the sprites. So I cannot keep this block. I cannot keep clicking this block continuously because I know the number of sprites which I have in the front of the scratch cat and I want to bring it. So I can first select here forward or backward, and then I can select the number of layers which are there, like number of sprites which I have, and then I can bring the scratch cat the onto the topmost layer. I'll show you how. So now the scratch cat is behind all these four sprites, which is this black squares. Now when I click this front, go to front layer, it will automatically come to front layer like this one. But what if I don't want to show it? I don't want it to topmost layer. I want it to like second layer, not the topmost layer. So I'll again make it go back at the behind layer. And now I want it only to come one layer, like one layer front, not the topmost layer. So when I click this, it has not shown, but it has came on one layer at front. Okay, one layer at front. It is like it is on this one sprite, but it is behind this and this sprite. Again, if I click this, so it has not shown. Now it is on these two sprites, but it is behind these two sprites. So this is how it works. Then after this, these three blocks are like you will learn them afterwards when you first learn all these categories. Like in motion, we have these three blocks which you will learn later. In looks, we have these three blocks which you will learn later. So that's it for today's video. In next video, we'll learn the next category, that is sounds category. It is small but interesting. And if you have any doubts, so feel free to ask in comments and I'll surely solve all of your doubts. Till then, bye.